It has been 30 years since the movie Clueless was released in 1995, and this video is part of the Unique Antique Challenge. This one is all about being clueless on your piece. It's hosted by myself as well as Mara over at Borderline Furniture RX. I will be working on this jewelry armoire that has been sitting in my garage for months and months. First of all, I'm working on all of the regular prep work. I hate it. Who really does like it? But it has to be done. Cleaning, sanding, and you guessed it, cleaning it again. When I work on these types of pieces, I do like to take them apart. It's just easier to work on them. So just taking off these side doors. At first, I thought I wanted to paint this all in shades of pink and blend it, but then I decided I wanted to do a lighter color. So I'm using this gray primer that I had available to me, and I am painting the whole entire piece with two coats to get a nice base coat down. I am a sucker for texture. I love it. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks. So I'm going to make my own chalk paint with some added homemade salt wash, I guess we'll call it. I'm using some latex paint and I'm going to pour some water in it to thin it out a little bit. I'm not really measuring, I'm just eyeballing everything. I'm going to mix it really, really well. And then I have some plaster of Paris that I'm going to mix into it as well. Again, just eyeballing it. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. The more plaster of Paris you add, the thicker it will be and more chalky it will feel. And then I'm going to take some salt, just a regular salt grinder, sea salt grinder, and grind up my desired amount of salt. I think I did about maybe 2 teaspoonsful. Again, it doesn't have to be an exact science, just more salt, more texture, less salt, less texture. Then I'm going to paint my piece. And I'm tapping and dabbing and going in different directions to get all of those peaks and create all of that yummy texture. The doors were missing the pulls, so I dug through my stash of hundreds of knobs and pulls and found these ones that I thought were perfect. Using these two Waverly chalk paints, one in the color called Cashew and the other in Ivory, which I had like hardly any left, so it's mainly the color Cashew. I blended all over and I just kind of put the two colors together on my brush, swirled and tapped, and it just creates so much depth. And I love blending this way. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be exact, and it just creates so much interest in the paint colors. Because these two paint colors were very similar, the transition was very subtle and just very delicate and pretty. If you have ever seen the movie, you know Cher, the main character, is a super diva and she is very girly, so I am going to make this piece extremely girly as well. I'm going to add some really pretty pink stencils to the sides of the doors, and I'm using these two Dixie Belle colors. And the colors are called Peony and Flamingo. Aren't they fun? I like to mist my sea sponge to soften it before I start stenciling. And I'm taking one color and tapping that on first, dabbing, and then I'm going to take my second color and tap and dab that on. I did take a very small amount of the cashew color and I tapped that in there as well, just to kind of tone down the brightness a little bit. I have these really beautiful paint inlays, and these are all scrap pieces. Some of them have been used, some of them have not. So I'm just going to cut them out and place them all over the front drawers of the jewelry armoire. You can get 2 to 3 uses out of your paint inlays. Your second use is just going to be more of a faded look. I'm applying my paint first, then press my paint inlay into the wet paint. You can then either mist it with water and use a rag or paper towel and tap the water off, or I will use a wet washcloth or paper towel, or I've even seen people use baby wipes to wet the top surface of the paint inlay. Then once the paint inlay is completely dry, you can move on to the next step. I trimmed and cut in all kinds of different random pieces of my scrap inlay and just kind of pieced them in and placed them where I kind of wanted them to lay at. With my mister bottle, I am going to spray my dry paint inlays. Everything's completely dry, dry to the touch. I'm going to spray them and get them wet, and then I can remove them. And then the paint inlay will be embedded into that painted surface. I'm using this really beautiful IOD stamp and some white glaze, and I'm going to stamp this giant peony flower on the top of the jewelry armoire on the hinged lid. With a brayer, I am rolling out the glaze onto a clear cellophane sheet, and then I am applying the glaze to the stamp with the brayer. The stamped image is very faint right now, but I'm going to show you later how I make that pop more. The glaze also makes all the details in the stamps raised. I also had some inlays I had to redo. They were just a little bit too faint for me. So this time I used a clear top coat and I pressed my inlay into it. Then I'm sealing everything with a spray lacquer before I top coat it. And this is going to set the paint inlays and seal them so that they don't smear and run when I brush on my top coat. Technically, you're not supposed to mix water-based and oil-based products, but this is all that I had on hand. Here's the part where all of those textured areas are just going to pop. I'm using this Waverly brand wax, brown antiquing wax, and I am dry brushing over top of the whole entire jewelry armoire. I'm making sure to offload any excess wax onto a paper towel or piece of cardboard or something. I'm offloading it And I am using the very smallest amount of wax to highlight all of those detailed areas. Here's the lid, and this is how I'm going to highlight all of those stamps. I'm just dry brushing over top of the stamps, and it's making that peony stamp just pop. To seal it, I'm using this one coat polyurethane, but I am going to apply 2 coats to the whole piece. And of course, I have to make the drawer sides pretty, so I start off by giving them a scuff sand. Using the cashew color, I give both sides a couple of coats, and I'm all about using as much recycled products and supplies as I can. So I'm using my scrap pieces of paint and lace, and I'm going to decoupage the sides of the drawers. I used a top coat as my adhesive and pressed my inlay paper into the top coat. And then I'm using some of that cashew color just to kind of blend in the inlay paper. Many of the drawers were just in really bad condition, so I needed to reline them with velvet. I made my own template using a piece of paper, and I used my finger and I pressed the paper where I needed to cut. I got this self-adhesive velvet on Amazon. I highly recommend this product if you ever need to align some jewelry box drawers or anything like that. This stuff is amazing. I highly recommend it. I will have it linked down below. I used my template. I laid it on the back side of the velvet and then traced it out with a pencil. And always double check. Make sure you're cutting mirror image if you are doing a smaller compartment size, especially if you are doing a curved or a angled cut. If you have one big rectangle, it's not going to matter. But if you have an angled front and it's a smaller compartment, it will definitely matter. This peel and stick velvet was so easy to use. I just removed the backing and applied it. It was easy to smooth out. It was easy to get out any wrinkles. I love this stuff. And just like that, the drawers look pretty on the inside again. I didn't have to remove anything. I just stuck the stuff right over top of the existing velvet. So easy. Let's have a quick look at the before we check out the final reveal. I hope you guys enjoyed my Clueless jewelry armoire, and I hope you feel inspired. Make sure you check out the playlist. I will have it linked below as well on the end screen. And thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye.